React Context is an integral feature that allows developers to share specific data across all levels of an application, enhancing its flexibility and scalability. This mechanism provides a way to pass data through the component tree without having to manually pass props down through each nested component. This proves invaluable when certain data, such as global state, theme settings, or user information, needs to be accessible by multiple components at different nesting levels. To use React Context, the first step is to import create context from React and initialize it, creating a context object. The create context function accepts an initial value, which isn't mandatory but can be provided if needed. Once a context is created, the context provider is used to wrap the tree of components that need the state context. In this example, user context provider wraps component 2, making the value of user accessible to any component within this provider. To use the context in a child component, the useContext hook is utilized. This hook returns the context value for the component calling it, determined by the value passed to the closest sum context provider above it. Here, user context allows component 5 to access the user context value. The use context hook provides a more direct way to access context values, making your components more concise and enabling the creation of custom hooks. To update the context value, a function needs to be passed down through the context that allows consumers to update it. This function can be a state updater function from a use state hook or a method from a class component that updates the state. Consider a theme context with a theme state and a toggle theme function to update the theme. You would provide both in your context value. In nested component, the use context hook is used to access both the theme and the toggle theme function. Clicking the button calls the toggle theme function, updating the theme state in the context provider. This re-renders all components consuming the theme context with the new theme. Multiple contexts can be utilized in a single component by invoking the useContext hook multiple times. In this scenario, some component is consuming both theme context and user context, meaning it has access to the values and updater functions from both contexts. However, it's vital to consider performance when using multiple contexts. If a context value changes frequently and is consumed by many components, each change will trigger a re-render of all those components. For contexts like this, it's beneficial to split them into separate contexts, allowing components to consume only the parts of the context they need. In conclusion, React Context provides a powerful way to manage and share state across components, contributing to more maintainable and flexible code. However, as with any powerful tool, it should be used judiciously, keeping performance considerations in mind.